We welcome in a Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Today on the show, I can't believe it, I'm going to be agreeing with Dave Roberts what a DeAndre Hunter contract extension might look like, and one name for the Hawks that I'm not really that excited about. It's all next. It's Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta.
This is Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, and it starts now.
We welcome into Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. We ask you to head over to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta into your search browser, find our page, subscribe, leave us a comment. Of course, free and available on all your favorite podcast platforms. Download us on Spotify, Odyssey, whatever your favorites are. Leave us a 5-star review, and then follow me on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. I guess hell can freeze over, right? Now, look, I'm not a big fan of Dave Roberts, the manager for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I think he's a lousy manager. And, look, he's a guy that's squandered a lot of talent in LA. The fact that they only have the one world championship, and that was in the pandemic season, considering that they've been one of the best, or not the best, franchises in the National League, and certainly have spent like no other franchise in the league. But recently, when the Braves and the Dodgers hooked up, Dave Roberts said that, quote, Max Fried might be the best left-hander in Major League Baseball. You know what? I guess strange bedfellows, but I agree with Dave Roberts. I want you to listen to some of these numbers. Now, last night, Max Fried got the victory over the Cardinals, as the Braves have taken now 3 straight against them. Look for the sweep against them. Fried has gone now to 9-2 on the season, leads the National League in games started, a 2.52 ERA, 107 innings pitched, 100 strikeouts, 17 walks. He has almost a 6-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. But listen to Max Fried's numbers that I'm going to throw out here over the last handful of years. So in the last 4 years, he's 47-15. That's a almost 76% win percentage, a 7.58 win percentage. So he's winning almost 3 out of every 4 starts that he makes. This year, in the 17 games when he pitches, the Braves are 13-4. Since August of last year, the Braves are 23-5 when he pitches. And the last 3 years, he has a 2.74 ERA and averages almost 4 strikeouts to every walk. Now, I don't know what the definition of ace is. Does he look exactly like DeGrom? Does he look exactly like Max Scherzer? Does he look like Garrett Cole at times? No. But here's what I know. Max Fried is the ultimate winner. And when he steps on the mound, the Braves win. You can't dumb your way to 23-5 in the last year and few months of the season when Max Fried goes on the hill. He is the best left-hander in baseball. In fact, I don't know, he's probably one of the top 4 or 5, maybe less than that, maybe top 3 or 4 pitchers in Major League Baseball right now. When you can hand the ball to a guy and you know every time out you're going to get a quality start and you're going to have a chance to win, that's what an ace is, right? When we talk about what does an ace mean, it means every 5th day, no matter what has happened, I'm winning a bunch of games, I've lost 4 straight games, whatever it is, that he's a guy that comes in and is going to stop any sort of bad streak that you may have, or he's going to keep the good that you have going. And he's fantastic. I don't know that he's going to start the All-Star game because Alcantara has been outstanding. I mean, he's doing things that no modern-day pitcher is supposed to do, pitching to the 8th and 9th inning, God forbid. His manager just runs him out there and says, go get him, son. And he's just blowing people away. So I'm going to guess that he's the National League starter. But if he's not, Fried is right there in the mix for all of that. And maybe because Snicker's the manager, maybe he lets Max Fried be the starter. But there's no doubt about it that Fried is outstanding. Now, I'm going to give you a comparison to another guy here in just a second, but want to talk to you about my friends over at BlueNile.com. Listen, I know it's summertime. You may be thinking about love is in the air, right? The things are in bloom, and there's romance all around. Maybe you're thinking about getting engaged. Listen, BlueNile.com is the place to be. You're looking for an engagement ring. You're looking for something special. You got an anniversary or whatever. You just want to treat her great. BlueNile.com is the place to go. So they have a couple of different things. One is they have the creator build the engagement ring of her dreams, where you can go online, use the tools. They let you choose the shape, size, clarity, as well as the setting style. And then they'll handcraft that perfect engagement ring that you create. Each ring is obviously one of a kind. You want something special, they've got their life special moments. Looking for, a gift, an anniversary, this, and the other. You can talk to one of their experts 24/7. You can talk to them on the phone. You can talk to them through the chat. They've got all kinds of gifts that you can get out there. So whether you're trying to get engaged, whether you just want to celebrate something special, BlueNile.com is the place to be. Now, here's what we've got going on as well. Got a special deal for our listeners here of Locked On Sports Atlanta. I'm going to give you $50 off any purchase of $500 or more. So when you go to BlueNile.com, I want you to put Locked On in the code. So use the code Locked On, LOCKEDON. Use that code Locked On, and you're going to get $50 off, $500 or more. Every order is insured. It ships free. It arrives in a discreet package that's not going to tip off what it is. You can shop stress-free, and it's your forever place to go for jewelry. BlueNile.com is your place to go today. Now, I know that this is not going to be fair, and I'm not saying that they're the exact same pitcher and things like that, but isn't there a lot of Tom Glavine in Max Fried when you talk about the crafty lefty, the moxie, the ability to get guys out? He doesn't overpower you or anything like that. He's got the stuff. Right? I mean, he does have a lot of that Tom Glavine in him. And he's a winner, like what Tom was. Tom didn't dumb his way to over 300 wins. He's a winner. And that's the vibe that Max Fried gives. Now, look, I understand. It's a different time, different era of starting pitcher in Major League Baseball. Guys don't pitch long, and guys don't get a chance to do things. But Fried is a guy that when he is on the mound, the Braves are always going to be in it. And honestly, it's gotten to the point where you expect that every time Max Fried makes a start, you're about to see a terrific performance. And maybe it's last night, 6 innings, 1 run, 4 strikeouts, a walk. Okay. I mean, that's typical Max Fried. He doesn't get himself into a lot of trouble. He doesn't add a lot of extra base runners because he doesn't walk anybody. I mean, if you look at the fact that he's got 17 walks in 107 innings pitched, that's absurd. And he's only given up 6 home runs in 107 innings, which last year the home run ball was a little bit of an issue, but not very much. I mean, 15 homers in 165 innings, that's pretty good. But when you look at how good Fried has been these last few years, yeah, it's crazy to think. I agree with Dave Roberts. Who's a better left-hander right now in baseball? And realistically, how many starters would you take over Max Fried? I understand how good DeGrom and Scherzer and Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander, I get how good those guys are. But Max Fried, when you look at the amount of games that they win, 23-5 since August of last year. Braves are 13-4 this year. He's 47-15. That's, to be honest with you, that's Pedro Martinez kinds of winning percentage. When Martinez was in his prime with the, finishing with the Expos and then coming over to the Red Sox, that's the kind of numbers he was putting up winning percentage-wise. Or Dwight Gooden in his first few years in the league. Think about it. He wins 3 out of 4 games that he pitches. That's an outstanding ratio. So as crazy as it sounds, I hate to agree with Dave Roberts on just about anything because I think he's a lousy manager. I'll say it. I think he's a lousy manager. But in this case, no doubt about it. Max Fried is the best left-hander in baseball going today. All right, when we come back, what a DeAndre Hunter contract extension may look like and maybe a player comparison. We'll talk about that next. Jon Chuckery here on Hittin' Hard on Locked On Sports Atlanta.